Hello everyone and welcome back to the Trading Table. This is Andrew, joined with me is Landon, and today we're going to be going over some of the biggest movers in the market, what to watch, and more. Today was a crazy day for the market, and you'll see why in a second. But just looking at our heat map here, right? Nice sea of green. I like it when things are bullish, you know. Long-term portfolio is just looking great right now, and I'm definitely a bull for sure. Oracle, 13.32%. They reported earnings and had a huge move to the upside here. So, you know, great over at Oracle. Anyone who's holding that long term, I bet you are celebrating right now. I personally am celebrating because I'm holding Apple long term. They are, I'll go into it later. But let's just take a look at SPY real quick, right? So to really kick off this, chain of events here and how we ended up reaching all-time highs of 544 when we were still trying to break 540, yesterday, and it just tore through that level, right? And it 540 I thought would be kind of a big psychological level for SPY to break, and it just tore straight through it with zero regard for anything, right? So we finished the day right around like 536.90, right around that level, and then not core CPI, but CPI came out, and the market loved it. It was great. It wasn't too high, wasn't too low. It was, just right. It was what the forecast was. So it's what the market was expecting, and the market wants to grow. So as it was expecting, and it grew. So now we have an all-time high right up here. If we check this candle and look in the top left, we see a high of 542.34. So all-time high for SPY. Very exciting stuff. If we go to the 1 minute, right, I was able to kind of see like this resistance here today where it was kind of having some trouble. I'm less confident in it now that, I saw this chop intraday, but this 542.90 level, I noticed it was having some trouble breaking this morning, but, intraday, it was just kind of chopping around that level. And then, it had a few tests of it. So I still think that this 542.90 level is a good addition. But, if you guys have any other levels that you see, please feel free to leave it down in the comments because I'm open to suggestions. As SPY gets to new all-time highs, it's impossible to find resistance, right? You got to do it like this way, like where you see like, okay, it's having trouble at this level. I'll, put in some resistance there. Let me close up the RSI real quick. But yeah, so looking at Apple real quick, Apple was just moving today in a great way. Now at the end of the day, not really moving, but nevertheless, it's still sitting up there pretty nicely. So, if you saw this trend, right, and you hopped in, great day for calls. I mean, I can't even imagine how much these calls jumped. If you guys haven't watched already, be sure to watch our introduction to options video. But the delta for Apple contracts are normally relatively high. The delta is normally relatively high. So when it rises this much in price, because it normally doesn't have like days like this, right? If we zoom out on Apple here, and if it loads, we can see that, most of the days is just pretty choppy, not a whole lot of price action. It's just kind of consistent growth. But when you have something like this, and if your delta value stays the same in the Greeks, I mean, some of these contracts have easily jumped over 700%. I would not be surprised if I saw that number. But yeah, end of day here, we did kind of have like a correction, right? So you can't stay at all-time highs forever. That's very unhealthy for the market and for a stock in general. It can't just keep climbing. Pullbacks are very, very healthy for the market. So, I'm kind of glad to see this sell-off end of day, even though I am a long-term holder. But that just means that we can now test new highs. So, pullbacks are great. Just looking at KWeb. KWeb's just chopping around, man. Not the best day for KWeb again. We're really feeling it over here with the China stocks. I'm not really sure what's up with KWeb, but our other big money play for the China stocks, PDD. I mean, this is such a banger that this is just a crazy play, to be honest. So the bot called it out right in this area. Not exactly 100% sure because I can't get Discord to load with this terrible Wi-Fi I have right now, but pretty sure the bot called it around here on Monday, and we're currently at 150. So PDD 145 to 150 in 2 days is insane. So great call out by the bot. These contracts still have an insane amount of time to them, and this isn't even in the money yet. So big money is, as I checked, still in this. They're just riding it out. And, this isn't like PDDs at all-time highs either. If we go out to the month chart, right, we have an all-time high of 164. I believe that's all-time high. Let me just double check. Pretty sure. Nope. So we have an all-time high, sorry, I apologize, of 210 here. But 164 is kind of more viable, I'd say, in the term of this options contract, as it does expire in September. So, I would like to see it hit 165. I think it could hit 165 by September, but let's just keep an eye on it and keep watching PDD to the upside. Just they own Temu, and Temu's doing great right now. If we look at Baba real quick, the whole Chinese market's generally doing good. Baba's been just chopping around, but it's okay. I'm not worried. These KO contracts have a lot of time to them. But on the other hand, what I am slightly worried about is AAL. At the end of the day, I still am bearish on this. Most investors are bearish on this. There's still a crazy amount of puts for the open interest, so there's no reason to really be afraid. It just had a good day because the market had a good day. And if we jump onto the 1 minute time frame here, real quick, we can literally see where it jumped, right? So if we go to 8:30, right, a little bit more there. You see this green candle right here? That's where SPY jumped. That's where AAL jumped. The market just had a really, really good day today. And like I always say, the market's not going to sit at all-time highs forever. It's necessary for the market to pull back so we can test new all-time highs, right? Like if we jump to the 1 month chart on SPY here real quick, and we just look at the previous all-time high right here of, let me get rid of this poorly drawn trend line there. That must have been a joke. If we look at this previous all-time high of like around 534, we can see that, we pulled back a little bit, and now, boom, we're at 542. So pullbacks are very, very good for the market. And in a long-term time frame, if it pulls back, we'll test like maybe 550 next time around, right? Today, the CPI data just kind of gave it a boost up, right? Otherwise, we would have kind of probably been having trouble around like the 540 mark today, right? Because before CPI came out, we were at around 537. CPI comes out, boom, we just shot up. I don't think we're going to stay at this level for long. And I'm not saying load up puts or whatever. I'm just saying, just don't stay bullish forever in the short term, right? It's not going to keep climbing. Eventually, there's going to be a pullback down. Maybe not as extreme as we saw it here on the 1 month time frame, all the way down to the 518 level. I think there was even a stronger pullback than that. If I can maybe find it here, I believe it was this one. I believe it was this one, right? We were sitting at 525. We pulled all the way down to like 500. I remember it tested that 500 support, and we didn't even have the Discord by then. This channel wasn't even made yet, but we put down to that 500 level, and me and Lana were like, what, calls here is great, and well, it was pretty good. So that's what I'm saying, though, guys. It's necessary for a pullback to shoot to higher levels, as you can see here. Oh, everyone's like, oh my God, we're at all-time highs. It's gonna keep going, whatever. Absolutely not. Pullbacks are very, very healthy for the market, and it's just gonna allow it to even, go even higher. But jumping to Landon now for some of our big money plays.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. So moving on to our big money plays for today. Our first one is for ticker symbol PDD. And I mean, I know you guys know that the bot's been calling a lot of PDD calls recently, and this is another one. And, it shows because PDD has been moving up like crazy. But just to reiterate the play for everyone that's not in the Discord, it's a call option contract for at a strike of 165 with an expiration of 10/18/2024 and a total premium count of 538K and a total volume of 677. And I mean, I'm loving PDD right now because this just has been moving up like crazy. I think the bot has called this maybe 4 times, and every single time it's hit in the span of like a week. Moving on to our next one. It's for ticker symbol ZI. Zoom Info Technologies. This was here I'll reiterate the play for you guys right now. It was a call option contract at a strike of 16 with an expiration of 8/16/2024 and a total premium count of 706K and a total volume of 17K. That volume is actually surprisingly high for the premium count. So that's why I really like this one. We didn't see too much movement today. Kind of chopped out. End of the day a little lower than it started. But overall, one key thing to notice is that it ended the day higher than it ended the day yesterday. So that's why I still like to play. Basically, just chopped out. It just was returning back to its original level from like before it had that initial jump pre-market. But moving on to our next one and our last one. We didn't have too many call-outs from the bot today for our big money plays. For our last one, it's ticker symbol PBR. This play was it's a put option contract at a strike of 13 with an expiration of 12/18/2026 and a total premium count of 847K and a total volume of 2.93K. And I believe so the bot called this play at 9:46, somewhere in there. Yeah, somewhere right around there. Well, you guys get the point. Initially we got a little scared, but it didn't break our stop loss. But it did end the day nicely. This was about like a 12% return, and this stock has been downtrending the last few days. So if you guys are in, maybe scale out a little bit, but the outlook for this is definitely towards the downside for the next few days. And then moving on from here, this was our last big money play. We have Tesla. You guys know how I like to go over Tesla, and boom, what a day for Tesla. Shot up, but I think this is just in correlation to the entire market just shooting up. So nothing much to see here if you guys are shorting this stock or have put option contracts. I wouldn't be too worried. It's just because the market's at all-time highs. But tomorrow Elon Musk will probably say he's nuking the moon or something, and the stock will shoot down. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Moving on from there, I know Andrew touched on Apple, but I just want to say, I told you guys. Apple had another crazy day. It actually surpassed Microsoft for a little bit, for a second there, for the biggest company with the highest market cap. And I mean, this stock has been moving like crazy. This is why I love Apple for the long run, because I mean, just look, it's they don't have a lot of days like this where they're jumping. What is this, like 7%, 8%, where they're jumping this crazy amount. But they do have what they have is slow growth and steady growth and consistent growth, which is what I love about this stock. And it's not at a crazy price like Nvidia, or well, not Nvidia anymore, right? Because they had their 10-to-1 stock split. But yeah, the outlook for this stock is really positive. Maybe wait for a little bit of a pullback if you guys are gonna hop in, just because it's so high right now. Now moving on to earnings. After the hectic day we had today, after close we had Broadcom report earnings, and they actually beat revenue by 3.8%, and they beat EPS by 1.11%. So that's not bad, but never play earnings. It's like gambling. So I mean, it's good to see this data, but it's more of a tool for the long run, not today or tomorrow. But moving on to tomorrow for the earnings. We have Adobe reporting after close, RH reporting after close, and before open we have Lovesac. I don't know too much about Lovesac, but if you guys are in Lovesac, that'll be exciting. But for the highlight about this like earnings calendar is on Friday. I know we talked about this on the Sunday Outlook video. That Tempest AI, their IPO is happening, and I mean I'm so excited for this company because, well, first of all, you guys know everything with AI, it's just booming right now. And if you guys don't know much about them, basically their goal is to combine AI with like medicine. So I'm really excited for that just because of the endless possibilities that could be achieved there. And they're opening up at $35 to $37 a share for the share price, which is not bad at all.
But that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Trading Table. This has been Andrew and Landon. Please be sure to check out our free Discord. Link is in the description. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at market close.